Satnam. Welcome to SoulFlow Yoga. My name is Amy, and this week the sun transits gate 43, the gate of breakthrough or insight. This gate lives in the ajna, and the ajna is where we process information, where we integrate this information from the world around us. It's what we see, it's what we read, it's what we've been taught. And this gate has a unique way of seeing things, a unique way of processing information, and then coming up with its own perspectives or possibilities for how one could look at that point of view or look at that book or etc., and so forth and so on. And these breakthroughs or insights, they just come. You can't manufacture them. They just pop into our mind, right? And because of that, it can be very difficult to explain your unique insight. So as an example, if I were to have a unique insight based on something that I saw on the news or something that I read in a book, I might share my unique insight or perspective on how to look at what the author was sharing. And somebody might ask me, well, why do you think that? And I might not actually be able to clearly explain why I think that. I just do. Another way to look at this unique individual perspective or insight is, when you do a puzzle and you've got all of the pieces on the table, and of course the edges are always easy to do, and then some of those other pieces and sections of a puzzle are quite easy to do, and everybody comes together and they put the puzzle together, and then after a while it gets a bit harder, and that's when the puzzle just sits for quite some time, and all the random puzzle pieces are just kind of strewn about. Maybe they've been organized by color or whatever, but this individual might be able to walk past the puzzle, just gaze at it for a moment, picks up one piece and puts it right in the spot where it's needed. So they haven't spent time mulling over the puzzle or the pieces. They just walk by. They just know what piece needs to go where. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. But you can't ask this person to explain, how did you know that piece went there? So this individual, and this is individual energy, so when you're experiencing it this week, or if you know someone who has this energy, what's beautiful and something that you can do that can make them feel really, really, really seen, and something that can really be amazing in recognizing them, is to invite them to share their perspective. So if you are watching the news with them, ask them, how do you see this? What's your perspective on this? And allow them to share that. Don't get argumentative if their perspective and way they see it is different than yours. It's meant to be different. It's meant to bring something new, a new way of looking at something that maybe we haven't yet looked at. It's beautiful energy, and there is this fear of rejection, I may have already mentioned that, around this. And so individuals who have this defined will either tend to not want to share because there is a fear that no one will understand what they have to say, and that leads to rejection. These can also be people who will blurt out their perspective. They won't wait for that invitation to share because they don't think the invitation will ever come, because perhaps they have been rejected before, and so nobody ever asked them their perspective. I mean, there is this sort of fuel behind this that is, I want to share my unique perspective. I want to be seen with this unique insight. And when we share it without the invitation, it does not land. So if you're experiencing this energy this week, or if you know someone who has this defined, wait for the invitation. Your beautiful insight, your beautiful breakthrough will still be there if it is meant to be shared, if it is meant to be empowering and impactful. Just trust that the invitation will show up when the time is right. So there's a lot of trust here around this energy. And once again, I just want to reiterate, if you have a child or if you know someone who has this gate defined, please invite them to share their perspective. Engage with them. Even if you don't agree with it, don't ask them to necessarily explain why they feel that way. Just let it be a beautiful gift for them to practice sharing, also engaging them in any activities that help them to communicate clearly, whatever that is throughout their life. That will support them as young adults and as adults sharing and bringing their gifts forth. So I'm going to tie that up with a bow. We're going to practice some Kundalini Yoga to support this beautiful breakthrough and insight. Oh, and one more thing I want to share. This gate also carries a level of deafness. This is also the gate of the inner ear. And this deafness is a protective mechanism. Individuals who have this gate defined have a little bit of deafness because they're not easily influenced by other perspectives. And this is to protect them so that they can still have their own unique perspective, their own unique insight. Maybe it's a breakthrough on how to solve a problem, so that it can come forth and help the community and help the collective. If they are easily influenced by other people's perspectives and breakthroughs, they'll never be able to bring forth their own uniqueness. So I guess another thing I might want to say about that is, especially if you have a child, don't get upset if they're not listening to your perspective. Allow unique perspectives to be something that the family celebrates, right? And if your perspective is one that keeps them safe, then just say, well, this is what we do to stay safe. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. So if you're not already on your mat, or if you're going to practice in a chair, go ahead and grab the mat, cushion, get comfortable, and I will meet you on the mat for our practice. All right, welcome back to today's Kundalini Yoga, or SoulFlow Yoga, as I like to say, because it is inspired by this week's gate 43. So we're going to be practicing some yoga to balance our nervous system, our brain hemispheres, and also we're going to be working our rib cage, which helps with the heart center. So really going to be coming into like a space of alignment for our head brain, our heart brain, and our gut brain. So we're going to tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. We'll chant this 3 times. And this simply is a way of saying that and connecting with that inner wisdom, that inner knowing that lives in all of us. It's connecting with that golden chain of teachers that came before us. I like to think of these as our ancestors who sort of helped pave the way for our lives. And regardless of what their stories are, you're here, and that's what really matters. So let's bring our palms together, rub them vigorously to create some heat and warmth, and then we'll bring that hands into prayer pose at the heart center. Now sit up nice and tall no matter where you are. If you're sitting in a chair, sitting on your cushion on the floor, closing the eyes and bringing the gaze up to the space between the eyebrows, the third eye. Let's take a big deep inhale through the nose and exhale. And again, big deep inhale and exhale. And now let's inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Big deep inhale through the nose. Holding that breath in, engaging that root log, that's pelvic bowl, sex organs. Pull that energy up, pulling the navel in. Visualize that energy climbing all the way up the spine, all the way, climbing up to the top of the head, the crown. And exhale, let the hands come down, let them just rest on top of the knees. Take a moment here. Bring your awareness here into this present moment. With your next inhale, turn palms over on top of the knees, keeping the eyes closed, or if you want to gently open them, that's okay, while you watch me demonstrate. We're going to do Sufi circles. We inhale, circle forward, and I'll pelvic bowl. Exhale, circle back. You can go at your own pace. Let's reverse the direction. Still inhaling as you come forward, exhaling as you come back. Opening up those hip joints, releasing any held emotional tension. Reverse the direction again. Last time, reverse the direction. On your next inhale, bring yourself back up to that neutral spine, sitting up nice and tall. And exhale, gently open the eyes, bring the hands to those ankles. All right, go ahead and grab hold there. We're going to do a pelvic flex or spinal flex. So we're going to inhale, rock forward in our pelvic bowl. Exhale, walk back. All right, go ahead and gently close the eyes. Inhale forward, exhale back. Now you can start slowly. This is the first activity you're doing for the day. Otherwise, if you feel warmed up, you're going to move a little bit more quickly, more rapidly, and let your breath match the movement. So maybe it looks and sounds like this. Continuing to move the pelvic bowl, but now I want to bring some more awareness to the heart center. And so let's bring the flex upward into that heart center, the chronic center, the rib cage. Now inhale yourself back up to neutral spine. Hold the breath at the top. Relax the shoulders and exhale. And gently open the eyes. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do some long, deep breathing. And when I say long, deep breathing, we're going to inhale and exhale through the nose. It's going to be slow and deep in that when you inhale through the nose, I want you to visualize that breath coming in through the nose, down through the throat, into the lungs, past the lungs and into the belly. And allow your belly to expand with that inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the belly button back towards the back of the spine, which is going to push the breath up into the lungs, the throat, and then out the nose. You can connect to the visual of this, or you can connect to the sensation of the breath, the coolness as it enters the nose and the warmth as it leaves the nose. If you want to anchor in with a mantra, you can mentally chant Sat on the inhale and Nam on the exhale, right? Now, we're going to be doing some special mudras because these, we're working with sort of this idea of rejection, right? The fear of rejection, sharing our unique insights that then are being rejected. And anyone, again, who has this gate, find, whether it's just the gate or the channel, or maybe even this week you're experiencing some of this energy, or you've witnessed it, or you've been a part of it. Rejection is hard, it's tough, it lives in our subconscious, it keeps us from showing up, it keeps us from stepping into our personal power. So these mudras are designed to help us move past all that, and any rejection, whether it's around this gate, any rejection in your life. Like, that is sticky, sticky stuff. So let's try to heal from that. First, we're going to take our thumb the pad of our thumb is going to rest on the nail of our pinkies. All right, so you can see it, and then just take this mudra, let it rest on top of the knees. Other fingers are perfectly straight. Press that thumb into that finger now, the pinky nail. Sitting it nice and tall. Elongate those arms as if power and energy are shooting out those 3 fingers. All right, let's go ahead and begin the long, deep breathing. Inhaling slowly and deeply through the nose, allowing that breath to come all the way into the belly, expanding the belly. And then as you exhale, bringing the belly button back towards the spine. The eyes are closed. Gaze can be anywhere that feels supportive. Continue to keep the eyes closed. Closed. And now move the base of your thumb, the pad of your thumb, to the tip of the pinky finger. So the pad of the thumb, the tip of the thumb touches the tip and the pad of the pinky finger. And the rest of the fingers continue to extend here. Let's continue with long, deep breathing. Take an inhale, hold the breath for just a moment, and exhale, open and close the fingers, and then gently opening the eyes. All right, bring those hands to stillness. We're going to begin this Kriya. We're going to begin by bringing our hands up towards the shoulders. All right, and then we're going to turn the palms on the wrists so that the palms face the shoulders. And from here, we're going to open, this is open, and then close, just making a fist. So inhale, hands open, close, make the fist. And this is a rapid movement. So sitting up nice and tall, squeezing those elbows, forearms into the body, into the rib cage. And let's begin. Inhale them open, hold, Exhale, let those hands come down beside the body. Take a moment here. Your eyes closed. And then gently open them by fluttering your eyelashes. All right. Now we're going to take our arms and we're going to bring them beside our bodies. And we're going to bend the elbow and the palms are face down. So there's a gentle bend in our elbows. And what we're going to do is we're going to pretend to be birds and we're going to use our arms to fly. All right. So this is our inhale. Our exhale is bringing those shoulders up and then kind of letting our wrists bend so that the hands drop down. All right. So I'm just going to demonstrate one more time. Inhale, the elbows come a little bit bent, palms face away. And then we exhale, shoulders come up, and then we bend those wrists down. All right, so let's go ahead and just begin and give this a go. All right. So really working the shoulders and the wrists here. Those are the only things that are moving. And then, of course, our breath. We're working the rib cage and the heart center. If this, for any reason, is uncomfortable, you have an injury that precludes you from doing this, just visualize yourself doing it. Sort of propriocept the energy moving with the movement. On your next inhale, hold. And exhale, let the hands come down, let them rest in the lap. Turn palms face up. Take a moment here just to integrate that movement. Going inward to notice what you notice. And then with your next inhale, gently opening the eyes. All right. So now we're going to balance our hemispheres of our brain as well as work our nervous system. So what we're going to do is, this is a little bit like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time, but it's not that. It's kind of like that. All right. So we're going to take, when our right hand, this is the right, I sometimes get them confused. I'm going to be honest. All right. When we punch out the right hand, we're actually going to, like, with a fist, punch. All right. When we bring the right hand back and extend the left hand, we're going to open up our hands as if to receive. All right. So right is more masculine, punching, we're initiating. Left is feminine. This is more receptive, sun, moon. Okay. So we're bringing everything into balance here. Okay. So we're going to start by punching the right and then receiving the left. All right. Punch, open, punch, open. Okay, I think we got this. All right, so you're nice and tall. Eyes are closed. Or if you feel more comfortable with them open, that's fine. Find a spot on the floor to focus in on, all right? And then let's begin. Don't be afraid to use real power and force when you punch, and then soften when you open. Let's do one more punch, one more open, and then bring those hands, all of them, back towards the heart center. Inhaling, open the hands. Exhale, let them come down and rest on top of the knees. Take a moment here, go inward to notice what you notice. And gently open the eyes. All right. Now we're going to take a moment to come into a meditative place, mentally, physically. We're going to hold some sukha and stiya. Sukha is the sweetness, stiya is the strength, okay? A little more balance type of work here. So take your hands again. Fingers are together, and they're up here. They're in front of the shoulders. So they're not the side, they're in front of. All right, so we're sitting up nice and tall. I want you to gently engage your root lock. That's the pelvic floor, sex organs. It's like you're stopping the flow of urine here. Bring the belly button just a little bit back towards your spine as well. And then I want you to lean your body back. So straight spine, lean your body back as far as you can without falling backwards or putting too much strain on your low back here, okay? And we're going to close the eyes, and then I want you to bring your gaze while your eyes are closed, to the chin, which is the moon center. All right, we're getting ready to have a full moon, so this feels supportive. I'm just going to allow your breath to be whatever it wants to be, just not shallow and quick. That's kind of like our nervousness, anxiety breath, but make it be without controlling it. Let it being a slow, relaxed breath. It can be belly breath if you want to. Just continue that gentle meditative breath. And as you do so, anything that you want to release in this moment, anything that's been holding you back, any little lies you've been telling yourself about your worth, your value, your place, your belonging, see if we can just let those go. When it comes to recognition, any places where you felt like you were rejected instead of recognized, see if we can just let that go. And let yourself know that you will show up for yourself, recognizing yourself, knowing your own worth and your own values, standing in your personal power, holding this gift of beautiful insight, the sweetness of that insight, and yet also the strength to wait for the invitation. Knowing that that insight will always be there when the time is right. Now let's take a big inhale, hold at the top, As you exhale, bring yourself back up to that neutral spine. The hands come down, turn the palms so they face up. And a beautiful receptive posture. Take a big inhale and exhale. And then again, gently opening the eyes. All right. That concludes today's practice, supporting the energies and archetypal themes of Gate 43. Let's go ahead and seal that practice with one long Satnam. So bring the palms together and begin to rub them vigorously. Create that heat and that warmth again. And then bring those hands into prayer pose at the heart center. I like to roll my shoulders up, back, and down to really open up my heart center, to allow myself to be a little bit more vulnerable in this world, in this lifetime. Sitting up nice and tall, closing the eyes again, bringing the gaze up towards the space between the third eye, and making sure we're just dropping our chin a touch and then pulling it back towards the throat, just a touch here. This elongates the back of the neck, opening up all those channels that run alongside the spine. Let's take a big deep inhale through the nose and exhale. And now we'll inhale to tune out. Nam. May peace be with you. May light be with you. May truth be with you. And may love be with you. And may safety, security, prosperity, and grounding be with you always. Satnam, thank you for being here. I hope that today's session was supportive, helpful for you, any loved ones in your family, any children in your family who experience this energy. And do know if you have this energy that it is so sought after and so special. You are here to bring change. You are here to empower. You are here to be innovative. Just trust that that is within you at all times. And when you wait for that invitation, man, as they say, until next time, be well.